It began as soon as the last of the team reached the mouth of the cave that they faithfully entered 18 days ago. And the celebrations went well into the night.
It's more than happy. We have waited to hear the news, and even I can't really put it in words. It's more than happy.
For 2.5 weeks, people have been glued to every detail. Among those quietly watching and finally unwinding over a hot meal, a crew who had spent days pumping water out of the cave. This pretty much sums up how everyone is feeling. I'm very happy that the children are all out, one man says, and I'm very proud to play a small part in the success. The final 4 boys and their coach made it out and were on the way to the hospital in less than 10 hours after the rescue began. The Thai Navy SEALs who had been with the team in the chamber followed shortly after. But even with the jubilation, never far from mind was Sergeant Saningunan, the former Thai Navy SEAL who died after running out of oxygen. As for the team, after spending so long cramped together on a dry slab of rock, they're reunited again. They're all on the same floor of the hospital where they're in isolation for the time being. About half of the boys attend the same school in Mae Sai, a small community that borders Myanmar and lies just a few kilometers from the cave.
I'm like freaking out. It's like, oh my gosh.
15-year-old Wasana Cebu admits it's been difficult these days to pay attention in school.
I think everyone will like welcome them back with the love, included me.
Because even for those who knew nothing of the boys or the team before, they feel a deep personal connection to them now.
They are not only the kids of Chiang Rai, not the kids of Thailand, but they have become the world's kids.
For the past 10 days, Simi Upra has worked as a volunteer helping to translate, and she's now overcome with emotion.
It's not just like the kids of their parents anymore. They have become our kids as well now. Aww, it's so nice. A lot of happy people here tonight in Thailand.
Because they feel united by a rescue and a team they'll keep rallying around.
Ann Breyer joins us from Chiang Rai. Obviously, people there are thrilled at the outcome, anxious to see the boys. When might that happen?
Well, some of the parents have already visited the boys in the hospital and more will soon, but there can't be any kind of physical contact, no hugging or anything like that, because there are concerns over infection. It's believed that 2 of the boys are suffering from mild pneumonia. As for the group that left the cave first, they're said to be doing well and have their appetite back. They're eating solid food, but nothing too spicy. And the entire group has to wear a type of sunglasses to protect their eyes from any harsh light, because after all, they've been underground in the dark for so long.
And there's some talk about what's going to happen with the cave itself.
Well, visitors were already warned not to go in the cave during the rainy season, but Thai officials say they're going to have to take extra precautions. They're talking about monitoring the entrance, putting up more lights. And interestingly enough, Ian, they're also talking about turning the cave into an international tourist destination. They've seen just how people around the world have been gripped by the dramatic rescue, and they're betting that quite a few people might want to visit the cave. Ian.
Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome.
Only a select few can describe what it was really like in those caves and what those boys had to go through.
They are getting forced to do something that no kid has ever done before. It is not in any way normal for kids to do cave diving at age 11. And thinking about they've been kept in a small cave for 2 weeks, they haven't seen their moms, incredibly strong kids.
Ivan Karatovich runs a diving business in Thailand, and he took part in the first 2 days of the rescue. He was stationed near a difficult stretch of the cave about halfway along the route, helping to replace oxygen tanks and help guide people through the cold water.
It's about 20 degrees Celsius water, and the visibility is absolutely zero. And in the very early days of the rescue operation, there was a strong flow. It was not physically possible to actually swim in there. You had to hold onto rocks and drag yourself in.
But that current subsided as engineers pumped out more than 128 million liters of water.
The water levels went down, so there was less parts that required diving and more parts you could just walk through.
Karatovich couldn't communicate with the boys he helped. They were wearing full face masks, but they seemed remarkably strong given their ordeal.
considering the conditions, they've been through for the last 2 weeks, they were calm.